What's up, everybody? What's going on? Here we are back in my Paramotor hot rod garage. I'm sorry about that. I was just currently trying to do a live stream, but I kept getting a phone call, and as I was getting those phone calls, I think it was freezing up the live. At least that's how it looked on my end. So I did just end the live and restart up this one. So I do apologize for the ones that were actually on the last live. But regardless, here we are hanging out in my hot rod Paramotor shop. And this now has actually turned basically into a storefront, which is actually really sweet. So now this shop is actually MBE PBG, which is really sweet. And what that actually stands for is nothing but epic paramotors. And so that being said, we have paramotors here for sale. We have the Epic SkyMax suitcases right there behind me, and we also have inventory that's here in the back, meaning that what we actually have is all SkyMax parts. So any parts that you guys need for any SkyMax models, I actually have every single part down to any of your star frames to also harnesses to also Pulsar parts. Pulsar is still a newer style frame in the industry of paramotors, which is actually really awesome. And a lot of you guys don't even realize how sweet the Pulsar is. That's why I'm attempting to do these giveaways for you guys. So you guys can actually get the chance to potentially win the Pulsar for just the cost of a t-shirt, and also get to brag to everybody and also share with everybody how great the Pulsar really is. And I'm not here by any means trying to say, hey, SkyMax is the ultimate paramotor that's out there. To be honest with all of you, and I love to say this in a lot of my videos, I actually really do enjoy and love all paramotors. The paramotors that have changed my life are SkyMax models, but that doesn't mean I'm biased to any of the other models. We have the Parajet Maverick sitting right here in my shop. I love this Parajet. This is Pilot Pat's Parajet that we actually do have for sale. I have actually flown this model. It is beautiful. It only has like roughly 70 hours on it. It's got a brand new E-prop on it that has, I think, one flight on it. Same with the Pool Start, and it also has a fresh tune-up done to it. So, and I also am a mechanic to Vitarazi engines, so I do work on a lot of Vitarazi motors. I'm sorry. And I do a lot of services. I do a lot of... Dude, that's super epic. Rob, what's up, dude? So Rob here just said he has the Limitless, dude. Epic, man. The 1530. So when you say the 1530, is that like your diameter of your hoop section? Because SkyMax has two different sizes, which is the 1420 meter to also the 1520 meter. And the only 1520 meter that I actually have anymore is the star frame. That's all the way in the back. It's kind of hard to see it in the video. But Rob, what's up, dude? Super epic. So Rob over here just totally set a whole different style frame, which is Limitless. And for some of you guys that don't know what Limitless is another paramotor frame that's out there that is just as great as all. You know, like to me, like I said, I've actually got the chance to put one on my back. I never got to fly it, but that was when I was down in Georgia at Bad Apples last year. That was super cool because I got to try out a lot of other paramotors, which was really sweet. I didn't get to really fly a lot of others. Yes, the big cage can swing a 140, but I'll start with the 130. Dude, super epic. So Rob right there was just referring to like different prop sizes. So perfect example. So Pilot Pat's Parajet right here behind me has the 125 centimeter, right? And Rob just said that he's going to stick with the 130. So I have the 130 E-prop that's a 3-blade. And the things that I've noticed about the 2-blade down to the 3-blade is that the 2-blade hums louder. Like it almost sounds like you're hearing the engine more than you are the prop. And but really what it is, like when we're flying, the really loud noise that we are hearing is the prop spinning. And I do believe that the 3-blade is louder than obviously the 2-blade, because when you fly a 2-blade, to me, I like to refer it like a 4-stroke. It almost sounds more like a 4-stroke engine is running behind you, supposed to when you have that 3-blade, 130 centimeter. And don't get it wrong, E-prop does make a 2-blade that is a 130 and also a 140 as a 2-blade. But the 3-blade E-prop, I think the smallest one they make is the 130 centimeter. I could be wrong on that, but I do know that At least right now, I have the 130 centimeter, and I love it. You know, the only thing I've noticed about it is that I do have cleaner takeoffs, and I feel like my climb rate is way better than having a two blade. But it could be just in my head, you know, because me and my friends have done a lot of like testing on that to see the differences, and I feel like it's right there. You know, there might not be that much of a difference, but to me, it could be my excitement making me feel like it's a difference. I almost said a dramatic difference, but really, I do think that they're very similar. It's just what you would prefer to have. Like for me, I would rather fly with the three blade over the two blade, but that's only because I do a lot of beach flying and I do see a difference. I've flown with a couple other pilots that have tried my three blade right from their two blade and have said I don't feel a difference at all. I don't like how loud it actually is because it sounds more loud. So Rob, are you actually rocking a three blade on your Limitless, or are you gonna do the two blade? But yeah, like I said, I want to come out here in my shop. I haven't been doing any videos out here in so long because it has been so cold that it's been terrible out here. The two blade. Oh, nice, dude. Nice. So that's really cool. So Rob right now is gonna get the. Are you getting the E blade or E blade, the E prop, or are you going with something else? Cause like just so you guys are aware, it's all I flew during training. Okay, yeah, nice, dude. And where'd you get trained at, man? That's super cool. Helix. Oh, so epic. So a lot of my friends that I actually fly with, they fly Helix props, right? And what we're talking about is the propellers, right? And right here, both of these props back here, these are, it says E-props, right? And so this is just a certain company. And the reason why I fly E-props, people and experience. Yeah, dude, exactly. So what I've learned about Helix from E-prop is that Helix is a, I don't want to call it a heavier prop, but it's a much more durable prop. Like I know for a fact that E-prop, if it touches anything, they explode like toothpicks, or I should say like splinters. They really explode. Helix can really take a beating, which is actually really nice, and that's why a lot of my friends fly Helix over E-prop. The reason why I fly E-prop is because I did start out with them, but because now I have the sponsorship through SkyMax, SkyMax is also sponsored by E-prop. So currently now, like because I fly SkyMax, I do get a discount on E-props, you know? So like, and really I can also sell them, but like to be honest with you, there's so many other people that sell props that I don't really try to do that. You know, like if someone really wanted to buy a prop through me, like sure, I'll help you out and try to hook you up with some type of a discount if that's what I can do. But really, I'm not here trying to make any money on props. Really, I'm just representing the companies that are basically backing me up for my videos, which I really like. And don't get it wrong, I'm not here beating up on Helix or anything. I actually enjoy Helix. When me and Asmat went out to Bad Apples, he bought a Helix prop from, man, who did he buy that prop from? I'm gonna text him right now, but we're using my actual phone right now for this live stream. But my man Asmat, the guy who taught me how to fly, he flies Helix, and right now, currently, he's flying an E-prop right now because he had like a little mishap on one of his takeoffs, which happens, you know, like no matter how good you are as a pilot, I have seen some of the greatest pilots make the smallest mistakes that end up with either like a prop and explosion, hitting your lines, chopping a couple lines down to accidentally hitting the ground, doing some epic foot tracks, and even water landings, you know? And I'm never here to pick on anybody. You know what it really comes down to? I think that we have so much fun flying these paramotors, or we get so used to thinking that like every flight is exactly the same, like for like a takeoff or a landing, that we kind of get a little ahead of ourselves. And like I said, I'm not here ever talking negative about anybody, especially the pilots that I get to fly with, because I actually look up to those people because really they're the people that made me the pilot that I am today. And I get to brag and tell people now, you know, I got over 600 hours fly time. I have made a ton of mistakes. I ordered a 130 Helix and a 140 E-prop. Oh, I'm going to mount the 130 first. Oh yeah, dude, that's super epic. So Rob over here, because he's flying such a bigger hoop section, right? He's talking about his hoop section size. Because I'm pretty sure the back of the frame is probably roughly the same as if you went with a smaller version hoop section size. Because I know for SkyMax, like for an example, if I went with a 1420 meter hoop section to a 1520 hoop section, the back part of the frame that hooks onto the harness is generally the same exact size. It's that hoop section that is actually bigger, and because of good reason. Like, some people would rather buy a paramotor like this and put it on a trike frame. So for a great example, like having the bigger hoop is really luxury for triking. But don't get it wrong, for us at foot launch, it is nice to have that ability to be like, you know what, I'm gonna fly either the small prop, because if you ever accidentally do a butt landing or say do a bad takeoff, you'll most likely save the prop. I know that for a fact. I have done so many bad takeoffs and bad landings where I've never hurt the prop because I always used to fly the bigger hoop section. Now I'm flying the 1420 meters, and now like I'm flying with the 130 prop right here. Here, I'll actually put it down. Same thing with the 125 right here. So look, you can see that it's probably hard to tell in the camera. Here, let me come back. Ooh, I love really rolling around in my chair like this. So look, so we got the 120 centimeter prop, right? And there's the Parajet Maverick right there. And you can tell that we're about roughly 2 inches off the ground. So if you did a butt landing or say a bad takeoff, you're going to most likely explode that prop. I've actually seen a lot of people with Parajet that explode their propellers with the 125. And hey, like I said, I'm never here to pick on any of the pilots that I fly with. Mistakes happen, And look, so there's my SkyMax Pulsar with a 130 centimeter prop. And if you can tell, it's kind of hard to see it in the camera, but I'm like an inch off the ground. No room for error. So as soon as I do one bad landing or a bad takeoff, I am going to explode that propeller. There is no question about it because of that flex. There's flex to these frames, no matter what frame you're flying. And even the props, all props flex a little bit when they're in full power to when you take an impact, And I actually love that I get to have the Parajet here in my shop because I get to do a lot of comparisons, compared to a SkyMax model or even a Scout Carbon. So I get to have sometimes the Scout Carbons come through here because some of my other friends do fly Scout Carbons. I even have friends that fly Black Hawk. I even have friends that fly like Cancun. I think I might have said that wrong. But, I have friends that all fly these different style frames. And that's why I absolutely love that I fly SkyMax because I get to throw in the mix of just something different with all of my friends. Because, just like everybody watches a YouTube video and they're like, oh, I gotta have a Parajet Maverick. And hey, don't get it wrong. Parajet is amazing. I got to meet the owner down at Bad Apples last year. I got to hang out with them. That was really cool. And I have a lot of respect for other paramotor companies. I can't stress it enough how much I love other paramotors. But what I like is that SkyMax is so out of the ordinary with their unique designs that they try to be this extreme lightweight, very well balanced, no torque twist. And they're very minimal parts to their frame compared to some of the others. But don't get it wrong. When we're going to talk about Parajet, or if we're going to talk about Limitless, or even talk about Scout Carbon, each one of them have their own uniqueness to each frame. And, just like any frame, there are, I would like to say, some flaws. Even with SkyMax, like I said, I'm never here to be like, oh, SkyMax is the greatest, you got to fly SkyMax. I would never, ever do that. I'm not that kind of guy. Like I said, I'm the type of guy who loves this life that I live, and I love to experience all paramotors, which I have flown a lot of different models. Like I said, I've never flown the Limitless. I've wore one on my back with a dudek harness. I don't know if it was lightweight or not. I can't remember which one it was that I was wearing, but it was so comfortable. And what's really great is that SkyMax just is different, and that's why when I first got into paramotoring, it just so happened to be the first paramotor I bought. It wasn't like, oh, I got to go buy a SkyMax model. It was the first one that I ever bought. And I bought the SkyMax Expedition. And, I've talked about this so many times and bragged about this. And really, The Expedition is so different than all their models that they have today because their Expedition was like some of their beginner start out models, and they were some of the lightest. They had carbon fiber on it, they had titanium, and even a little bit of aluminum. It was so crazy unique. And I kind of hate that I sold my first model, but as being a pilot, you can't have all paramotors, And like my first glider, like for me being a YouTuber, I really thought how special would it be if I gave away my first glider that actually changed my life, which I did. I gave it away to one of you guys that were subscribed to my YouTube channel completely for free. I didn't ask you guys for any money. All I asked you was just to be subscribed to my YouTube channel. And that's really what I want to be doing, is giveaways to the people that are subscribed to my YouTube channel. But with these pulsars that I do have, does come with a price. And that's why I came up with the shirt idea of, hey, every one shirt you buy, I'll be able to give these paramotors away. And really, the next pulsar that we do give away, I'm going to make sure that there will be an engine on it as a full complete setup for you guys. The first one that we are doing currently right now, what I'm giving away is, which is actually up on the shelf right there, is the Pulsar red on red frame, the Dudek lightweight harness that is very rare and will never be made again. It has a gas tank built inside of it. 12 of them were only ever made. And I have 3 of them here in my shop. So like what I'm trying to say is, and also these suitcases. I have one of these suitcases that are actually in mint condition. And that's why I'm doing this giveaway as a 3-piece without the engine on it, because I won't be able to do another giveaway like this again with the Pulsar. Like, don't get it wrong. I'll be able to give away. Here, I gotta move this table back so I don't keep hitting the camera. This giveaway that I'm doing is coming with these 3 pieces together that I'll never get to do again as a giveaway. Meaning, I'll never be able to give away another one of these harnesses like this, and I'll never be able to give away one of those suitcases again like this. That's what's making this one giveaway very special. And what's going on is that I have a website that I've made that every time that I keep trying to air it for all you guys to actually view, for some reason I can't have my links on there where you can like go and buy a t-shirt. So right now what I am currently doing, so nobody is confused, so you can buy one of my t-shirts right now, which is actually $25, but I'm just adding $10 on top of it, so making them $35, because that includes the shipping cost too. So $35 gets you an entry in on winning that Pulsar frame, harness, and suitcase completely for the cost of one t-shirt. And the next giveaway that I do, when I do build that up, it's going to be a Pulsar frame. It'll be a different harness, and it won't come with that suitcase. So that's, like a lot of people are like, oh, but you're not giving it away with an engine on it. No, I'm not. I want to so bad. But if I did that, it would have to be a lot more t-shirts sold to build up to that number, So really what I was trying to do, and what we are doing, is I'm doing this giveaway as a 200 t-shirt cap. We're already about halfway there, which is super exciting. And like I said, the next 50 t-shirts that we are selling right now, I'm throwing in the Insta360 camera, right, to one of you in the order with the next 50 that are bought. And what's really cool is that my man Seth Anderson, the guy who designs the selfie stick mounting points for any paramotors, is actually throwing in the mounts for free with this with my Insta360. I didn't ask him to do that. He reached out to me because I did buy a set from him, because I saw, you guys all follow or watch Ladybird that goes and flies around. Ladybird, I used to actually talk to her in the very beginning, before she even blew up, about her videos and all that kind of stuff. And what's amazing is that I watched her from being just starting out to one of the most famous paramotor pilots out there today. And what's really amazing, and where I'm trying to get at, is that I saw her with the Insta360, but instead of now like zip tying her selfie stick to her frame or taping whatever she did, she had these epic mounts. Where are they? And these epic mounts, oh, here's one right here. So these epic mounts, right, are bolt-on mounts. And I was like, oh man, that's exactly what I have to have, because GoPro had a selfie stick. mount. Oh man, it's right here. Hold on a second. I hang all my paramotor stuff up on my wall. So this is my paramotor side, by the way, and then this is my hot rod side. But so this is GoPro. This is an actual GoPro selfie stick, right? It's like a carbon fiber selfie stick. It's got the GoPro end on there, and then you see how it's got this end right here. Scoob, what's up? Yes, attempt 2. The first live stream I was doing, I was getting phone calls from my dad, to be honest with everybody, and the live stream started to cut in and out, and it looked like it was starting to freeze, so I just ended it to restart a new one and make sure I wouldn't take on any phone calls for this live. So what I'm trying to say, everybody, is that, see how this has this circular clamp, and you see how it's got like the little, the bolt end there, so you can clamp this tight. What's really cool about Seth Anderson makes these designs, right, that'll clamp on to any one of your paramotors. And if you have like a different type of swing arm, he'll design whatever ones that you need for your paramotor S-bar or your bars that hook up to your frame, to your wing. Trying to read your guys' comments too. Dude, Rob, he will make the mount that you need no matter what. He's already guaranteed that he makes mounts for any style paramotor, no matter where you hook it up at. All you got to do is, like, if you do have something different than, let's say, like the circle shape here, all you got to do is reach out to him. On my Facebook channel, all you guys have to do is, you'll see the link. I've done my last YouTube video here. I have his link in my description. Yeah, dude, all you gotta do is hit him up. And dude, his pricing is more than worth it. It's cheaper than what GoPro. Dude, so this selfie stick right here from GoPro, it used to be able to bend, you know, but I've crashed so many times that I broke this, and that's why it's all taped up. But this used to bend, and just this stick was $100. And then just for these parts, for GoPro, was another 50 bucks. So altogether, I had to spend $150 to be able to have my original GoPros, you know, that were hooked up like this. And then Seth Anderson, dude, he is doing them for like, I think, don't hold me to this, but I think they're like somewhere right around 50 bucks or 40 bucks. And dude, and he is so fair, and he will work with you and make sure that you get the right setup. His name is Seth Anderson. He is the man. And like I said, there is no other company out there right now that for Insta360 is doing that. And what I was trying to say was, long story short, because I drag everything out, he is actually throwing me a set of these in this order. So like I said, any one of you guys that actually buy my next shirt in the next 50 orders, right? Once we get to 100, one of you guys will get an Insta360 camera thrown in the t-shirt order, and you will get one of Seth Anderson's kits. Really? For the Insta360? Not for... Oh, okay. All right, so Scoop just made a really good point. Or Scoop just let us all know here on the live stream that there is another company that is actually selling mounts that I wasn't aware of. But, you know, like, really, what's amazing is that Insta360 doesn't make those mounts. You know, I think he just said, Scoop, did you just say another paramotor company? Yeah, Ready to Paramotor. Okay, so Ready to Paramotor is just another paramotor company out there, guys, that for some of you that are watching that don't know, they are another company. I don't know where they're out of. I actually got to meet all of them guys down in Georgia last year at Bad Apples. They were really nice guys. I got to meet like Matt and Dave. I think his name was Dave. And they were great guys. And man, they were giving away a lot of stuff. Oh man, do I have my setup in here? They gave me like a book bag. They gave me shirts. They gave me like sunglasses and stuff. I normally hang all my paramotor stuff in here, and I don't see it in here. It might be in my house, but do they ever get worried about your GoPro will fall from the height where you're flying? So no. So you know what's so amazing? You would think because of all the shaking and rattling that you would lose your cameras. But what's amazing, when you're under power band or like say at an idle, they really don't shake like that. And plus, the way that these are screwed in and the way that they hug each other, it's actually a really great design. Like there is never I have never lost any cameras. The only thing I've ever worried about is when I pull my cell phone like out of one of my pockets. But you know what? Like this is my favorite flying jacket that you guys are actually seeing me wear. I fly with this coat all the time, and it's because one of my favorite things is this pocket right here. This pocket right here is normally the pocket that I'll put my cell phone in and out of. I did lose my car keys while flying. Luckily, I had. Dang, Scoop. Scoop's like one of the luckiest pilots I've ever heard about losing their keys. That's insane that you had you had a tracking device on the keys, dude. That's insane, dude. But no, I've actually personally never lost anything. I've almost dropped my phone once. But typically, like when I'm trying to do those kind of videos, when I really have my phone out, I'd prefer being like over the beach, you know, say over like say the airport and soccer fields that I fly out, because I feel like if I lose my phone over there, it's game over. I would never find it over there for sure. Unless I guess if my Find My Phone app was on, like Scoob was just saying about his AirTag, maybe I'd be able to find it that way. But I feel like with the hikes that I fly, and when I do normally whip my phone out, I'm pretty sure my phone would totally be not a cell phone anymore. But yeah, so like regardless, yeah, Seth Anderson's really cool dude. He will make mounts for any style paramotor, whether they're round or they're a different shape. Yo, what's up, dude? What's happening? We got a lot of people jumping in on the live stream. I guess my lives do obviously a lot better closer to like 8 o'clock at night. I'm not really sure what time it is. What time is it, everybody? If you guys don't mind dropping what time it is. I just came out here because like, right now my shop's actually saying it's 40 degrees in here. That's so rare. I haven't seen that temperature in this shop in like well over a month and a half. It's been so cold that I haven't been wanting to do anything in my shop. I have flown a couple flights, but it's been crazy. Okay, thanks, Scoob. So right now it's 7:30 Eastern time, and for most of you guys that aren't aware, I do live here in New Jersey. Dang, Rob's over here in Central Country. 6:30. Where are you at, Rob? Tell me that you live in Texas. Are you in Texas or Louisiana? I'm almost having a vibe that you might be in Louisiana. I have that feeling right now. Oh man, now I need to know. Rob needs to drop where he lives. I need to know what state you're in. North Dakota? Oh man, I was off. But hey, dude, that's super epic, man. Oh, dude, that's awesome. So, dude, you guys have a lot of snow over there right now? Because, dude, we have snow that's finally melting away. We got like a foot about like 3 weeks ago, and then it rained that night when we got all that snow. And then it all turned into terrible ice. And I mean, the worst type of ice you can imagine. Like, and then like the snow probably got down to about like 6 inches of snow because after all that rain that we got. And then, man, I mean like horrific ice. Dude, it's been a crazy winter. Dude, do you know how long it's been since I've seen the bay here frozen over to where the animals can walk across to the islands? It's so funny. My grandfather once told me because, you know, I've caught like wild animals on the island sometimes when I'm flying my paramotors. If you guys could check out my videos, you'll see that I catch coyotes on the island. I catch foxes on the island. I've even seen deer on the islands, right? And don't get it wrong. They all can swim and stuff like that. But I was told from my grandfather a long time ago that we had a really bad freeze in like the 70s or like the late 60s, that it was so cold here one winter that all the animals started to realize that a lot of the small game, like rabbits and squirrels, really were over on the islands. And that's where like a lot of these bigger animals actually came over from. Yo, so crazy, Rob. I just had a couple friends over there in Florida, like literally about a week ago, and they were saying how it was record cold temperatures. One of my friends told me it was even snowing the one morning, but he was more a little bit northern Florida, so I don't want to say that's not normal, but it's very rare to see snow hit where there's palm trees. So that's crazy. Even Scoob, you said too, like last year that it's been so long since it snowed there, and then you guys got like a crazy snowstorm last year, right? If Scooby, if you're still on here, definitely drop a comment about that, because I remember you talking about how rare it was to have snow where you're at. But yeah, so that's so crazy. You know, it has been a crazy winter. And it's crazy to see some of those animals on the islands that I fly here in New Jersey. Because, like I said, for most of you guys that aren't aware that are on here, I live on the bottom of New Jersey and I live on the Eastern Shore. I don't live on the islands. I wish I was a baller like that and could live on the island. Okay, yeah. So Scoob last year had a pretty good snowstorm where he's at, and he's a little bit more south. And he was saying how rare it was then. And he just dropped a comment saying that he only got a dusting this year. Luckily to you. But man, I can't wait. This snow is finally starting to melt all the way. And all I want is that summer heat back. Like, I am so sick and tired of this cold weather that it really kills me. And hot rod. You know, I want to take this hot rod out. I hate this time of year because all the roads are salted over. It's no fun anyway to drive this thing because the hot rod does have type of heat in it, but it's not really like luxury heat, and it's not even really worth taking an old 29. It's a 1929 Model A. So what's that? 95. Is that 95 years old now? 96 years old? I feel like I'm drawing a blank here on my math. 1929. What is that? 1929, so that would be, yeah, 95 years old? Yeah, she's 95 years old. That's crazy that I have a car that's old. But regardless, you know, I haven't flown since September. Ah! Geez, Scoob! Since September? Holy cannoli, bro. Dude, just this past month, I got to 30 days has been the longest stretch I've done without flying. And man, I have to tell you, I was depressed. I mean, to the point where I was like laying in bed at night almost crying about how I wasn't flying. Like, something within me is ripping me apart about this crazy paramotor adventure that I just can't get out of my head since I started this. And, you know, like SkyMax, dude, oh my gosh. What's really exciting is wait till you guys see the new SkyMax model that's about to be coming here in my shop sometime in March. I can't even talk about it. Like, I can tell all you guys that, hey, there's going to be a new model here in my shop from SkyMax, but SkyMax is sending me a model that I'm going to get to demo, do videos on for all of you guys, and then I'm going to get to sell it. Or they're thinking now, because of how these giveaways that I'm doing, they're thinking about maybe doing it as a giveaway, you know, to amp up SkyMax and also just do more advertising. You know, like right now, what's really cool is how so many people are buying SkyMax shirts. It's really great advertising. And wait till you guys see what's coming here. I'm excited. If it snows, are you still able to fly? Yeah, I just went up for a flight. You got to check out one of my more recent videos. I just went up in the snow, but it was more like snow and ice. So it was a really hard takeoff because I was so nervous about running and full throttling. Like, normally when I go to take off and I run, I do use thrust to help out with my lift and also my running typically. But dude, this snow and ice, I've watched so many people fall in the snow and ice and ruin their props, bend their frames, that I didn't want to do that. Yeah, it's just a little harder to get the wing up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it sucks. Like, I want to fly in the wintertime so bad and fly across like lakes and the ponds or even the bay when it's full covered in ice, but it's hard because normally this time of year it's high winds, it's not really that great. Yo, what's up, dude? Thanks, man. Yeah, so right here behind me, if you can believe it, there's actually one, two, three, four. I have 5 paramotors right here that are behind me, right there. And then if we're talking about the suitcases, that's another 5 more frames right in those suitcases right now. So I have a bunch of paramotors actually behind me. But really, we only have 2 of them in here that are actually ready to fly, which is the Parajet Maverick here with the Moster 185, and then also mine with the Vitarazi Moster 185. But yeah. But no, regardless, though, just flying in the winter is just way more rough. Like, I'm normally not ever against flying in the cold. That's not what slows me down. It's really the high winds, the ground being really slick, because, man, all it takes is slipping one time under full power to just ruin your gear. And I've watched so many people that are great pilots ruin their gear, and all because of a simple slip. And if you guys watch my more recent video I did, I actually shared with all you guys, actually, like for the first time, like me struggling for a takeoff when typically I don't normally struggle with a takeoff. I normally hit them first try, like almost every time. But don't get it wrong, I'm not some perfect pilot. I do struggle. And this one, man, in the snow and ice, so many people were like, oh, you had to hold on your A's more, or man, all you had to do was thrust a little bit more. But people don't realize, like, also the situation of that time and that area. Like, for me, I was more nervous. Hey, yo, Rob, thanks, man, for hopping on the live, dude. It was good hanging out and chatting with you. Yo, man, have fun with that new Limitless, dude. I'm excited to see your videos, man. Definitely drop some comments later on and let me know how it is. But yeah, I was really just nervous about running in the snow and ice because I have fallen a lot of times. I've done bad takeoffs before just on regular good ground, and snow and ice really makes it more of a challenge. And I really was trying to not hurt myself, or the gear, And like for me, I'm flying the Roadster 3 22 meter, which I love. A lot of people now, just like my man that just hopped on here, he's got the Roadster 4. Super epic. The only thing that I've noticed the difference of the Roadster 4 from my Roadster 3, the only thing that's different is that when I'm doing the pendulum swing and I let go of, say, the brakes, I instantly almost come to right back to center a lot quicker than I would on my 3, And that's what's really nice about those winglets that are on the gliders. There is a dramatic difference when it comes to that. But everything else, though, about the gliders seem exactly the same from the 3 to the 4, other than when you're really swinging hard and you just let go of your brakes. Like, let them go completely. And then you, like, basically come to a stop. Like, it just makes you stable again. But yeah, so now I just recently got the Spider 3, which I really love that glider a lot because it's like the big brother to the Roadster. And the only thing that I've noticed that's actually different about the glider is that its takeoffs are way easier and it's a little bit faster. Even knowing that the Roadster I have is a 22 meter, the Spider I have now is a 24 meter. And it's funny, the 24 meter is a little bit quicker in speeds, which I'll do a test on that with the speed bar and everything to show everybody the difference from the speed range to speed bar speed range. So I am excited to share all that stuff too. But regardless, I wanted to come out here, hang out with all you guys, do this little live stream. I was thinking about doing a TikTok live, but I'm so over TikTok that it's starting to really bother me because every time I go on TikTok, I keep getting all these restrictions. They keep actually shutting down my lives when I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just doing a live stream just like we are here, hanging out in my Paramotor hot rod shop. And really all I'm doing is just trying to let you guys know who I am, what I'm doing. I'm trying to reach out to you guys that are actually following along. My wing is slow boat, but I'm about with that. Yo, and Scoob, there's nothing wrong with that, man. I actually really loved my Ozone Buzz, and that was the slowest glider I've ever seen to this day, and slower than everybody else's glider that I've ever seen. And I loved that glider, and that glider made me a good launching pilot because of how, dude, it was so hard to launch because it was so heavy, but it made me feel so safe because of how slow it was. And I actually miss that glider. That glider changed my life. It's the glider that made me have everything that you guys see behind me. And, there's nothing wrong with any gliders, whether they're slow or they're fast. And I have to tell you guys, I have a snake, a Dudek snake right here in my back of my hot rod that I don't even want to take out of the hot rod. It is so dangerous that to me, it's like not even worth it because like to me, I'm not that great of a pilot or say that experienced of a pilot to be using C-rated gliders yet. Yeah, those winglets are legit. Trims out, I can keep up a lot. Yeah, exactly. The winglets are epic. There is no doubt about it. And I have friends that own the Roadster 4, and they let me fly their gliders, and I love it. And don't get it wrong, the only difference that I can tell is speed from, say, the Roadster 3 that I have. The only thing I tell is it's stable, like, without having to do the controls yourself. Like, meaning, like, I have to do a little bit more hands-on piloting when it comes to straightening myself out, or I just let off throttle, and I come right back down to the center point. like with those winglets, I could be swaying like this and then just still be on the throttle and then just let go both brakes, and then I still come right back to center, which is actually extremely nice. But yeah, but regardless, like there's really not that much of a difference outside of that. But yeah, like I was just saying, I have a snake in here. I have the 18-meter snake, and that's a C-rated glider. And so you guys that are on here watching, or you come back on here and watch after the live stream, gliders range from like A, B, and C for good example, and A being the safest and C being like a very, very advanced glider, meaning like it's a lot of hands-on flying. There is no like really letting go of those toggles or throttle. You got to really understand the glider. And I've taken most of my collapses on that snake. What's really crazy is that I've never even shared those videos because they're so crazy scary to me that I don't even want to rewatch those videos of me flying that glider, or even like show people like, hey, here I am flying C-rated gliders now. Like, no way. Like, to me, I'm not there yet. I don't even know if I want to be there, to be honest with everybody. Like, yeah, they're cool that those gliders are here. Really epic for some, that's the type of flying that people want to do when it really comes to acro flying. But I am more of a adventure pilot. I just want to fly around. I want to do some cool swoops. I want to do some epic foot drags. I want to do some maybe cool epic tip touches, whether if I am sideways on the ground or doing it with other pilots in the sky. I don't really care about going upside down, at least yet. And don't get me wrong, have I gone upside down? I have one time. And to be honest with you, I haven't done an SIV course yet to really be like, I should be doing that a lot. I was actually really pendulum swinging really hard, trying to work on my wing overs, and then one of my wing overs I looped all the way around. It was really incredible, and it was another video that I basically didn't share because I accidentally did it. And to me, it's like, when I post these videos and share with everybody, I like to always have a full, good understanding of the type of flying that I'm doing if I'm going to share it with you guys. I don't want to show something that I accidentally did, other than maybe when I make a fail attempt where like I've collided in other pilots. I have really messed up on my takeoff and landings, but I really understand that, you know. And don't get it wrong, that full-on rotation that I did with the paramotor that one time, it was insane, but the video quality was really terrible. And when I did it, my camera actually, this camera right here, this selfie stick right here, it swung all the way down because I guess of the G-force that I pulled doing that loop around, that all you see is really like my butt up in the air and also like the tip of my glider. So you don't even really get to see me do the rotation good anyway. So that's why I never even shared it. But regardless, though, I do have that footage, and I still could always share it. But it was an accident, really, and it was insane because, like, it could have ended in a collapse with me doing something wrong. And that's another thing, too. It's like, that's why it's really important for some of us to go really get an SIV course to really understand doing things like that. But I would only want to do an SIV course for understanding those collapses that I've taken. And yeah, obviously to learn how to do a proper wing over. But yeah, like for right now, I just love the type of flying that I do. I love sharing those adventures with all of you guys. I'm not here trying to be the greatest pilot. I'm not here trying to lead on anybody in a different direction. I'm just here being me, having a really good time, showing off some of the models that I fly. And, you know, I am an East Coast dealer for SkyMax. And I'm also a Vitarazi mechanic. So I'm just doing a lot of things. And I can't tell you how many pilots I've actually had come through this shop right here. And some people have actually asked me to start doing videos on that, which I will. I'll start showing you guys people that do come here, some of the bullshit hangout times that we do. And that's why I actually started up, oh man, I can't even think of what it's called right now. I have another channel. I can't believe I can't think of what it's called, but you got to pay to watch those videos, and that's where I've shared like some really horrific crashes from other pilots, like going in the water and things like that. Man, I keep wanting to say Venmo, but it's not Venmo. It's Patreon. Oh man, I was drawing such a blank right there. So I have a Patreon account, right? And I did start up that account for some of the people that wanted to like basically help out with my videos and stuff like that. But you know, I do make money on Facebook. I do make money right here on YouTube. So like that's why like in the beginning I was all about having a Patreon. But then I thought like, man, it's kind of like on the selfish side. So I really kind of like never bragged about having that. Cause like really I'm not here to try to take money from anybody. It's like all I really want is for more people to be more supportive and be subscribed to my YouTube channel and more followers on my Facebook because I'm already raising money just by videos. And really, I would love to just keep that wave going over from me ever asking anybody for money. Are you starting a school? Why so many frame units? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, I'm an East Coast dealer through SkyMax. So SkyMax had a couple other so-called dealers that were, I don't really want to say or like put words in other people's mouths, but they kind of didn't, I guess, do their part, and they kept these models in the dark. And when SkyMax gave me a sponsorship, they also offered me to become an East Coast dealer because of how much advertising I already do for them and how much I've sold so many models for SkyMax just by the videos that I make that didn't even come through me, like just from people seeing seeing me flying a SkyMax model that they've actually personally reached out to SkyMax and bought models from them. So because of how many units I've actually already sold, they gave me a chance to become an East Coast dealer with them, which was really a great opportunity because what happened was as soon as I became that East Coast dealer, I started to have these rights to own their models that were already here in the United States that other people kind of weren't really advertising. They weren't doing anything with them. So those other people had to send me their gear. And that's why I have so many here now is because, and plus they're doing other things. So it's like, and like I said, I'm not here talking negative about anybody. That's not what I do. I actually have nothing bad to say about anybody. I actually really enjoy the company of people. I love that there's other dealers out there selling other models. But what happened was basically is that these were all sitting in the dark and I got to get my hands on them, and now here they are exposed, being sold. I've sold a couple of these Pulsars already. I've been selling more Star Frames than the Pulsars because the Star Frame is more known about and have been out longer than the Pulsar frames have been. And, you know, that being said, that's why I have all these. But don't get it wrong, I just got another inventory that just came in, which has a couple more frames, and I'm about to get a huge inventory from Dudek for their harnesses. So I'm basically becoming a storefront. I'm becoming a mechanic shop and obviously an East Coast dealer. So, which is really amazing. And I also do other things too, which I'm just adding to the madness. So, but yeah, that being said, if you guys are ever interested in any Vitarazi parts or need your Vitarazi engine worked on, I am a mechanic for that. Normally, if you're going to buy parts, I'll normally direct you right to Sky Sports USA to actually order your parts. But if you don't want to do the work and don't feel comfortable enough to do it, you can send your setup to me. I will fully refurbish your setup or do tune-ups, replace whatever parts need to be replaced on your Vitarazi engines. I do work on like EOS engines and Paulini, but I normally don't brag about that. I specialize in Vitarazi motors. And I do like help out other people with their frames because I do have a lot of friends that weld, so that specialize in welding and have their own actual weld companies. So like some people have sent me their Paramotors completely smashed that I have been able to get refurbished and built a little bit to the same to maybe a little bit more beef to it. But you know, typically I stay away from that, but more or less I am a mechanic and I do sell brand new models and I do sell secondhand models. So I do sell used paramotors. This is a used Parajet Maverick right here that has only been owned by one pilot, my really good friend, Pilot Pat. And this only has about 70 hours on it. So typically, if you have a used model that you're trying to sell, I will take it on in the shop, but I won't take it on as a third or a fourth ownership. I will only help out selling if it has only been owned by one owner. And, you know, I got to know the history on it. You have to have your flight log on it. You have to have like an hour meter that's already on it too for me to actually attempt to sell it because these are aircraft engines. I think it's crazy for some of the paramotor pilots that don't even put a tachometer on there just to at least gauge how many hours are on the engine. Because, like, to me, like, if you're to ever go sell it, like, you should really know the hours of the aircraft, because any other airplane or any other aircraft out there, that's like one of the most important things about the setup. Because, like, if you do have a model that's got, 1,000 hours on it or 2,000 hours on it, you might as well keep it. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people won't ever buy that. Don't get me wrong, you might find somebody to buy it, but then you're basically going to be giving it away price at that point. So yeah, that being said, I sell used, but I mainly sell brand new. And yeah, I go through a lot of paramotor frames, and I actually love that I'm an East Coast dealer through SkyMax. I love that I sell secondhand paramotors. It could be any frame at that point. Like I said, we have a Parajet Maverick right here in the shop. I've had Scout Carbons here in my shop. I've had Blackhawks here in the shop. I've had all kinds of frames here that I've helped sell or worked on or just hung out with these other people right here in the shop. Like, I have a hang test setup right here. You guys can't see it, but it's actually right above my head here. So this is my hang test setup right here. It's right above my head. So right here, you guys can see these are my hooks right here. I would obviously move the car, move this table that I'm sitting at. And this is where I'll let people come in, do like their little hang test, make sure that their harness and their balance point is actually all hooked up correctly. Because, man, I can't tell you how many times I fly with other pilots and I see them not pitched right. They're either too far forward or they're way too far back. And it's so important to be at that right pitch for your takeoffs and for your landings. And obviously for when you're just cruising around flying. Like, I've seen some people like looking like they're in like a lounge chair lazy boy or something. Like, they're so far back that it's like, yo, how are you going to land that thing when you go to flare? Like, you're going to back flop. And which I've seen actually a lot of. I've seen so many people turtle paramotoring that have been actually funny moments, but it's not really funny because these are aircrafts. You should be really on top of everything when your feet really come off the ground, whether if you're triking in the air to whether you're foot launching. And to me, I take this very seriously when I do go and fly. But I do love showing my excitement to all you guys because this has dramatically changed my life. And this just so happened to be the same time this happened in my life when I got this Model A. And this Model A, to be totally honest with all of you, I want to say is what actually got me monetized and got me started out with actually being noticed with my videos. And that could be a whole nother story for next time for sure. But like I said, everybody, right now we are doing an epic giveaway where I am giving away one of the Pulsar frames with a Dudek lightweight harness that is very rare, that has the gas tank in it. That is an ultra lightweight harness that is one of the lightest Dudek harnesses ever made. And we are giving it away with one of those suitcases. And like I said, it's a $35 entry to get in. And what it really is a $25 t-shirt and then $10 for shipping. And all you guys have to do is go to my PayPal account and make sure when you're on that PayPal account that you make sure you put your address in there, your t-shirt size, and what color shirt you would rather have, the black one or the white one. And like I said, there's so many people that have bought a shirt that didn't give me their address. They were like, oh, I just want a size medium, or I want a size large, or I want an extra large, but then they didn't even tell me where they live. And make sure you guys put your cell phone down on there, because as soon as we hit 200 shirt caps, I'm going to raffle off all of your names. And as soon as one of you guys win, I'm going to give you guys a call. And we're probably going to make a video of it, obviously. And we're going to call whoever wins, and I will ship it out to wherever the winner is. And I cannot wait to do that. And like I said, we're doing a 200 shirt cap for this giveaway. And we're already about halfway there. I think I'm at like 89 shirts sold right now. Maybe we might be in 90 already. I don't know. I have to check the account as soon as I'm done this live stream. But like I said, as soon as my website comes up, it'll be a lot easier for you guys to order the t-shirts. But right now, it's just right through my PayPal account. I have links put up on my Facebook and also on my previous videos here on YouTube. So make sure you guys are subscribed. Dude, I can't tell you how 90% of my views that I get to on YouTube are my non-followers or my non-subscribers. So make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you guys don't miss out. I have a lot of things that are going on and a lot more to come. Wait till you guys see the newest SkyMax model that's going to be coming here in my shop around March. It's going to be crazy. It's going to blow everybody's mind. It's already blowing my mind that I can't talk about it to you guys. But make sure you guys all stay tuned. It's going to be a game changer. I can't wait to share it with all you guys. And like I said, I appreciate all you guys for watching, following along. Make sure you guys go follow me on Facebook and Instagram. My Facebook is Danny Williamson, and my Instagram is the same as my YouTube channel, Flying Dan with a 29 sedan. I don't want to see any of you guys miss out. I want to see you guys win. I want to see you guys. Oh man, my cat just came in here. Oliver, come here, buddy. You want to say hi? You guys see Mr. Handsome, aka Oliver. He's a rescue cat that I actually rescued from my parents' house roughly like 8 years ago. He's probably about 9 years old now. Oliver, where'd you just go? Where did he just go? He just disappeared. I don't even see him. Oliver just came out from under the car. Come here. You want to say hi to everybody before we end the live? Come here. You got to say hi to everybody, bro. Oliver. So he is Mr. Handsome. He eats everything that gets in his path, meaning squirrels, rabbits, and birds. I've even seen him try to attack a deer once. And I hate to say it, he actually killed a really big red-tailed hawk one time. And the red-tailed hawk must have been already injured because I don't understand how he got him, but he did. So, but I know that Oliver probably wants to go in the house. And I have some t-shirts to actually go package up and go send out tonight. So that's what I'm about to go do. I appreciate all you guys for watching. Like I said, make sure you guys are all subscribed to the YouTube channel. Make sure you guys go check out my videos so you guys can understand more about the giveaways that I am currently doing. And I really do appreciate all you guys for coming on this live stream tonight. That was really awesome. So until the next one, everybody, you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. And I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.